Welcome everybody to our daily creative challenge. I believe this is day 7, which means we have 2 days after this and then we're gonna be done. Amazing. The noise for emphasis, I just hit my knee really hard. What's up, Valdair? Good to see you, Marilyn. Hello, Sean. Yes, always gotta do the spin. So if you are just joining us for the first time, this daily creative challenge is an awesome way for you to build your Photoshop skills over the course of 2 weeks. So we do 9 challenges, one every morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time with me, Kathleen, your host. And these are to build your Photoshop skills. So if you're a beginner, they are friendly to that. If you are more advanced, then you can always take it to the next level. And there are a couple different parts to this challenge. One is the daily challenge. Every day you're going to receive a new one. Today we're going to be messing with some type in Photoshop and applying some effects to it to have a cool neon text effect. Perfect spin. Thank you, Darian. Appreciate it. You felt the knee pain here. I had a good game face about it, right? What's up, Carrie? Good to see you. And then the second part of this challenge is the community chat. So this does not only last 25 minutes. I'm here with you until 9:30, but then you can also jump onto Discord and we can chat all day long, 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you want to join us on Discord, the link is bit.ly/PSDiscord, capital P, capital S. It's very important. And if you don't have any idea what Discord is, it's basically a giant creative community where you can chat, upload your work. The main focus for us is to get feedback on our challenges. So if you come to the feedback channel over here on the left and click current challenge, you can post your work of the day, get some feedback, and then at the end, upload it onto Behance for your finished portfolio. Thank you, Sam, for the link. Appreciate it. And thank you, Adobe Live, for being here. That's awesome. Angela, hello. All right, so again, join us on Discord and we can chat and give feedback all the live long day. And like I mentioned, at the end, we will upload onto Behance for our finished portfolio pieces. I'll cover that more on the last day, just to kind of tie it up in a pretty little bow. So if you want to learn more about these challenges, go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, and you can come down here every day. A new one gets unlocked. Today is type, like I said, and if you want to use the same background images that I'm going to be using, click this Get Started button, and then you can download some stock examples. They're going to have a watermark because we can't give you licensed work, but you're also welcome to use your own photographs. Go take a picture of a cool landscape, and that'll work just fine. Also, secret hack. If you scroll down to the bottom here, you can watch all the previous daily creative challenges with the starter files, so you can follow along if you just need more Photoshop fun for your day. Okay, so I'm going to jump into what we are going to be doing today. Like I said, it is going to focus on text. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about the text tool in Photoshop. We're going to end up with this cool neon effect, and then I'll show you super quickly how to add this custom lighting to a scene, but we're really going to focus on the text. And then at the end of this stream, I'm going to upload my project file, my actual PSD, to Discord if you want to dig into it further and explore more. Because we're not going to totally cover every single little detail of how to add this lighting to these trees and all that. We're really going to focus on the text, but I'll give you that PSD so you can dig around yourself. What's up, Susan? Noor, Aurelia, hello, hello. And if you're new in chat, let me know. Give me a shout out. If you're watching on YouTube, come over to Behance so we can see your messages. Oh, you think it's creepy, Noor? I think it's inspirational. This could be an inspirational poster in a doctor's office. Kelly says, you're so good at making it easy to understand all of the great features of Photoshop. Thanks, Kelly. That kind of comment makes it all worth it. So let's jump into the text tool in Photoshop. I'm going to jump over to just a base file with no effects, no text, no nothing. And let's just add some text super quickly. So over here in the toolbar, we're going to come down here to the text tool. There it is. And if you fly it out, you'll see that there are a couple different text tools. We're just going to stay with horizontal type, but T is the hotkey for all of them. So say, for example, you accidentally have the vertical type tool selected, you can always just hit Shift and T to cycle through them to get back to the horizontal type. Alrighty, in Photoshop, there's 2 different ways that you can add text or type. You can either draw a type box, and it will fill automatically with some lorem ipsum, or we'll delete that layer really quick. you can have the text tool selected and you can simply click and it will enter a single line for you. So I already have this cool stencil typeface synced from Adobe Fonts, and we're going to touch on that in just a minute, but I'm going to change it to something a little bit more system, something that anyone would have on their computer. There we go. And there we go. Now, one thing that's kind of annoying, or that has always been a road bump for me when working with text in Photoshop, is I'll have entered some text and then I want to move on to another tool. So I might like do the hotkey for it. I might type like B for brush, but the text is still active. So it just enters a B and it makes you look like a big old noob. So if you want to quickly just commit this text and move on, you can hit Command or Control Enter, and that will commit your changes and then you can move on. The reason you have to do that, modifier key is if I just hit enter, it'll just make a line break. So Command Enter, commit your changes, and then I can move on to my brush tool if I need to. All right, so I'm gonna add some text again. The text or type tool is super simple in Photoshop. We can move things around with our move tool, and you can see over here in the layers panel that we have a text layer, which is important because if we make some changes and even add some effects to this, it stays a text layer, so we can always change the typeface but keep the effects intact. Aurelia says, thanks, I needed this tip so much. Aurelia, I am kind of ashamed by how recently I learned about that quick little Command or Control Enter. My coworker Erica showed that to me and I was like, what have I been doing all my life? Marissa says I always feel like a noob with text. Don't worry, Marissa, we're gonna do something real simple but flashy so you can feel like you're not a noob. Jordan says I usually hit the escape button and that works for me. Oh yeah, totally. So we have our text and hit escape and that also commits it. Thank you, Jordan. That's great. Wade says definitely a pro tip. Yeah, I think Jordan's tip was a pro tip as well. Alrighty, so let's get this centered. I'm using my smart guides. And let's actually enter the text that I'm going to use. I'm just using a simple kind of nonsense inspirational phrase. Just keep it real, read, real. I'm going to select all my text by doing Command or Control A. And I'm going to come up here and make sure that it is center aligned. I think I added a space. Yeah, there we go. Cool, keep it real. Maybe move it up a little bit. And with my text layer selected, I'm going to come over here to the properties panel, and come down to the character section. If you have the text tool selected, you can also come up here to the top of the control bar and change your text that way. But I would like the properties because it shows you more options and it's live and very reactive. Words to live by, keep it real. I like this phrase as well because our end product is not going to look real at all, so it's a little bit ironic. We love irony here. We live for it. Marissa says, as a UX designer, there's nothing scarier than lorem ipsum. It means that one will look at your design and only focus on the filler text. That's a really good point and something that if you're just getting started with UX design, you might not realize. So having real authentic copy in there is important. Good call, Marissa. All right, so in this properties panel, we can change the color of our text. So I could choose blue and it live reflects that, but we really want to focus on the typeface. So I'm going to open up my characters, my drop down, and since I have a Creative Cloud subscription, I have thousands and thousands of fonts at my fingertips. It's very cool. I have a ton already saved from Adobe Fonts, and you can even filter them by the type that they are. Maybe I want a script. Check out that live preview. It's great. That reminds me of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. Anyone else? What's up, Rosemary? Yeah, Paco says definitely. You could do handwritten. And say that you don't see one that you like so much. Not a problem. Just come over here to More from Adobe Fonts and click on this little Creative Cloud icon over here. Very tiny. When you click on that, it's going to open up a web browser for you and take you to Adobe Fonts. Loading, loading. What's up, Massimiliano? I haven't seen your name in so long. Good to see you. All right, and now we are in Adobe Fonts. Now, if you're not familiar, this is where even more fonts live. And if you have a CC subscription, you can license any of them, sync any of them with the click of a button on this website, and they will automatically appear across all of your Creative Cloud apps. So it will appear in Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, whatever you are using. Justin says, wait, what? Where do you get all those fonts? Because I don't have that many. Justin, right here. Adobe Fonts, baby. So it's really nice here in the sample text. We could enter our phrase, and it's going to be all capital, majuscule, as they say. So I want to make sure I reflect that in my text so I can see what all of these typefaces look like. If this is too overwhelming, if just diving into thousands and thousands of fonts is too much, you can always tell it what classification you'd like to look through, any recommendations if you want it to be a header, which is probably what we want since it is just a phrase. We can even change the properties that we're searching for. Maybe we want something that has the same X height. Maybe we want something that's a little bit heavier or has a wider width. You can change all of those things here. That's something that's even cooler is if we come to the font packs up here at the top. Click on that. It's going to show you collections of curated font galleries by awesome designers, by Adobe staff, by even font foundries have put together their own collections. So maybe you're specifically looking for a poster that you're designing for. You could just click on the band poster font pack and see what they have in here for you. There's a little bit of a story here. This one was curated by Adobe, the type team. And you can try any of these out. Alrighty, so let's go back. Let's see if any of these look good. I know that I want like a stenciled font because I want my text to look like it's an actual neon sign. And if you're familiar with neon signs, you know that it's like a glass tube that is formed in one piece or multiple pieces. So there will be those breaks between the letters. So if it's a stenciled font, it will look more like a real neon sign. There's even one specifically for Illustrator. Fonts across America. This looks like it might be good. That's a nice kind of stencil-y font. Chat, if you have a favorite typeface, put it in the chat. Let me know what it is. I would like to know. I'm gonna go back to Browse Fonts, and I'm going to search neon and see if anything comes up. Neon? No, neon. Cool, so we already have a couple different typefaces that already mimic a neon shape. We even have summer jams. Maybe there's something in there that is neon-esque. We can look at families, all, etc., etc. There's even different languages. We could do a cursive one. I like this neon stream one. That's super interesting. Definitely feels like an Airstream, like you could have a neon sign on the outside of one. Quick question, any reason more fonts from Adobe would be grayed out? Abraham, if you're not using a Creative Cloud subscription, it might be grayed out, or if you're not on an internet connection, which I'm assuming you are because you are chatting right now, that would make sense. You might want to restart Photoshop though, or sign out of Creative Cloud and sign back in. That can happen sometimes. Alrighty, so we have Neon Stream here, and I already have it activated, so I'm going to deactivate it so I can show you how to activate it. And it's that simple. If you have a type family and it has multiple typefaces in it, you can come up here to the top and click this one, and it will activate every typeface in the family. So if there's like 20, it'll say activate 20 fonts up here at the top. Can you try this typeface, Monkberg? That sounds interesting. I'll search for it really quick. See if it's in here. This doesn't have everything. No, it's not in there. But let me know if you share your work in the Creative Cloud or the Get Feedback channel on Discord. Ping me and let me know that you're using it. Alrighty, so let's activate this. You can just choose specific ones that you'd like to activate. And then if I go back to Photoshop, it should be in here. So I can filter by Creative Cloud or Adobe Fonts. Make sure that I have all classes selected. And let's go down to N. I think it was Neon Stream, right? M-N-O-P. There it is. Neon Stream. Oh, that's cool. That's so retro. The ladies from Chutzpah Design would love this, I think. So we could try that. We could explore a couple more. Chat, what do you think? Should we go for something more neon-y or more updated and new? Schlop. That's nice. I want to see which one I actually used. I forget the name of it. Stencil Creek. That's the one. There it is. And you could even have different weights to it. So if you have a bold one or a thin one, but let's just choose Stencil Creek. Nice. So the neon effect is comprised of basically outer glow, Gaussian blur. Yes, those two plus drop shadow I have as well. You could build it with so many more layer styles. Like you could use embossing to make it look like it's really shiny and glass. But since this is so zoomed out, we don't have to have all of those close-up glass details of the actual neon sign. So outer glow, drop shadow, and I think that's it. And a little bit of blurring helps. Okay. So let's actually show and not tell. I'm going to apply a layer style to this type. I'm going to come down here to Effects, click Outer Glow. We've done this multiple times in the last couple days, so this should not be anything new, but I'll just show you one more time. See, I have my settings over here written down, but I think they might already be saved, which is nice. First, I'm going to make sure my type is a little bit bigger. We want it to be the showstopper of this design. Cool. So come down here, Outer Glow, apply it. We can change our blend modes. We can see how they all look, get a preview. And let's do lighter color, that looks good. I think the issue that I'm seeing right now is the text needs to be a little bit lighter. So it really looks like it's glowing. There we go, that's better. So I changed my typeface to be closer to white and less blue. Alberto, what's up? Kendrick says, where's my MS Paint tutorial? Kendrick, that is way above my level. I can't even. Has anyone used MS Paint recently? They have some good tools in there. Let's do opacity. We could play with this a little bit, turn it down for a less overt effect, turn it up to get that glow going. I'm gonna have a size of about 50, but we could play with this. I like to keep the glow pretty close to the actual letter shapes because if we get it too big, it doesn't really look neon anymore, it just kind of looks like it's fuzzy. So if we keep it a little bit closer, it actually looks like that light is emanating from those tubes. We could increase the spread, but I'm gonna keep it pretty close. There we go, and then this is the main difference from the previous days. I changed the contour. This is what it is set at usually. It's just the straight diagonal across. Oh, you like the colors? Good, glad you do. I'm gonna do this kind of pointy. It's almost like a mountainous option, and that is going to give us a little bit more space outside of the letters. It's gonna keep those glows a little bit more constrained to the letters, but actually add a little bit of space right under them. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, let's do drop shadow, add a little bit of more glow that's a little bit more dispersed. I have my blend mode set to hard light, opacity about 25. We could play with this. Ooh, I kind of like it a little bit higher. That looks like a neon sign, right? Ka says, I have a way of doing neon effects. Please share it in the Discord. That'd be great. Justin says, I use MS Paint when I do screenshots and I need a quick save. Nice, I remember doing that. Doing the print screen button and then pasting it into MS Paint. We could change the size so it's a little bit more condensed. Play with the spread, looks pretty good. We can always change the distance, but let's keep it pretty close. And we can change the angle as well. Okay, like I said, we've already covered these layer styles, so I'm not going to take too much more time. Can we also add like a neon ring over the text? Totally. You do not have to do exactly what I do. Please make your neon effects more intense, more detailed. I would love to see what you all do. Okay, so we have our neon text. Now, like I mentioned, since this is still a text layer, we can always come back here to our properties panel and change our characters. And it will keep the effect, but change the typeface. Super cool. Photoshop makes it very easy for you to make changes on the fly. That's pretty cool. It's like spray paint. But let's just go back to our stencil because we want it to look like it is a neon sign. And let me go back to my finished product to show you how I went from something like this to this, how I added that blue kind of midnight feel. For this workflow, it's pretty important that you have an image that is well lit and then add the darkness yourself so that we can then bring back those light values of the original image. Casas have two outer glows and then make one color lighter than the other. That's a good idea. So you would duplicate the layer and then apply outer glow to both. That's awesome. All right, like I said, I'm going to upload this PSD to the Discord after this if you want to play with it a little bit. I'll zoom in a bit, turn this off, so I'll take you through the layers. My first layer is a photo filter. So if you want to find the photo filters, you can go to Adjustment Layers and click Photo Filter right there. You can choose one of the cooling filters if you want it to be blue. You can even change the color that you want manually. But the cooling works well for me, and I have it turned up 100% because we wanted the scene to be very blue. All right, then I applied a solid color adjustment layer just because I wanted it to be nighttime. So if you want to do a solid color, you come back to the adjustments and do solid color. I chose like a black or a super duper dark blue. And then notice up here in the opacity, I have it set to 70 so that we can still see those trees through the back. Next, to add the final kind of mood change or setting up the scene, I added a vignette around the edges. So the edges got dark, but the center stayed a little bit lighter. The way I did that was making a gradient fill layer. And I changed my options to radial, reversed it so it was dark on the outside, and chose like a black. So that's an easy way to do that. And then I went through here and added some gradient maps and brightness. I'm gonna save this workflow for Discord that we can talk about later after the stream is over since it's almost done. But basically I made a layer mask and painted with light where I wanted it. So I painted the light on the side of the trees, but we can talk about that on Discord. Wade says, I love photo filters. Me too. Here's the type. And then I added kind of a final levels adjustment. So it's super duper easy. I'm gonna get this exported so we can talk about it more on Discord, get some feedback. I'm gonna go to File, Export As, and go from here. This is pretty big, so I'm gonna shrink this down maybe to just 1,000. 1,000, please. Looks good. And I know this is a little bit of a different workflow than usual. Usually we cover everything on the live stream, but since it's a little bit more complicated and we're really just covering text today, I hope it's all right if we talk on Discord later about the rest of the design. All right, let's say keep it real. Export. Super quick way to get your images exported is using the Export As option. And let's put this in the current challenge tab. I'm gonna upload it. Add keep it real here. Kelly says looks great. Thanks, Kelly. I'll say I'll upload my PSD soon so we can talk about all of the adjustments. Then after the stream, I will do that. So when you're working on these, please update and upload your works in progress here. We'd love to see them and give you some feedback. I'm gonna head out of here in about a minute, but we have more Adobe Live coming up right after me, more Photoshop goodness. This is a great option and twist for the DCC. Oh, I'm glad, Steve. Glad to hear it. So if you want to stick around for the rest of the day, we have a full day of programming after me. Matt and I believe Jesus are going to be on talking about photo presets. Oh, awesome. So we're going to have some photography chats. After that is Andrea's Daily Creative Challenge. So if you like this format, the short kind of educational format, come back at 11:30 for XD. We're going to do more editorial design at 12. And then at 2, Andrew's going to be here for his Daily Creative Challenge for Illustrator. So we've got Photoshop, XD, and Illustrator educational streams today. Stick around for all of them, and I'll be back tomorrow with another challenge. I'll see you guys then. Bye.